Hey, good morning. What's up, everybody? So, a couple of things to discuss this morning. I wanted to share with you guys. We're going to start with the first one, which is the Moto G6 Play. Now, for those of you guys who followed my channel, you guys know that I've had issues with this Moto G6 Play, and come to find out that a lot of people are having the same issues that I am having. Now, I can tell you guys up front, all Moto G6 Plays are not affected by this issue, but there are a higher percentage that are affected rather than a low percentage, which is what I was hoping for. I was hoping maybe, like 15% of Moto G6 Plays manufactured were having this issue, but it seems to be a little bit higher depending on if you were to go to Motorola support page and see like all the posts about the Moto G6 Play and the screen. Now, the problem with the screen is that every now and then it tends to really lag and become unresponsive. I mean, quick swipes are not registered, keyboard punches are not registered, or sometimes if you're starting to type a little bit rapidly, even tapping a letter, the touch is failed. So you end up having like a word missing a couple of letters. And it gets very annoying, especially for a device in this time to be built and have these types of issues. People then kind of look at it like, what's going on? What's happening? Did you guys rush this? And I can say that, my speculations of it being a software issue has now went from like a 72% to about an 87%. Seeing the fact that when I was reading the thread, a person in Brazil actually got an update for their Moto G6 Play, and it fixed all the screen issues that they were having, including the rubber band bounce effect, the keyboard typing bug issue, as those were some of the main ones that was really affecting this phone. You can tap on something and then it not register your touch. You'd have to tap again and then it would register it. So that is something I can say now why it raises my calculations of what the software fix could do from a low point to much more higher point. So the person put out basically that they had a different software version of the build number that they put out there that they got as a software update was a little bit different. So the ones right now that's normal on here is OCP 27.91-23. That's the one that my Moto G6 Play is currently running, and a lot of people that are having the screen issues, that's the build number of the software version that it's running. I forgot what version or what build number was for the software update for the one that fixes the screen issue, but it seems like that software update only went live in Brazil. Whereas other places like in the UK, in Canada, and here in the United States, we haven't gotten the software update for it. And I've been checking once a week to see if there is like some sort of Motorola software update. I'll check for the update, and it says your device is up to date. It gives me the current version, the OCP 27.91-23, with a security patch level of March 1st, 2018. So, no software update yet put out for the Moto G6 Play. However, I can tell a lot of you people out there that are having issues with the Moto G6 Play, and I know it's very annoying. If if you really like the phone, you're willing to hold on to it, a software update should fix those issues. So, just kind of wanted to put that out there for everybody that had the Moto G6 Play and just kind of let them know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Now, the main thing I want to talk about is all these smash and grabs at Apple stores. I've been reading a lot about this and seeing a lot of what's going on regarding it, and people have some interesting feedback as to what the Apple Store should do to prevent this. So, for those who don't know, basically, Apple stores have been a target of smash and grabs by hooded groups. So, groups of people wearing hoods, obviously to conceal their identity, have made way into an Apple store, have grabbed a bunch of merchandise on the display tables, and have booked it out. Some have booked it out with like $37,000 worth of product, some at $19,000. But we all know that Apple products are pretty expensive, right? So to take off with $37,000 worth of merchandise doesn't mean that they went in the back and grabbed inventory. These were all items that was on display on the floor. And we're talking about MacBooks, MacBook Pros, iPads, iPhones. They made off with the Beats Audio products, anything that was on the floor. Now, that's a very bold thing to do, but obviously it's becoming a trend because it's different Apple stores in different areas. I know the most recent one was in Costa Mesa, California. And yes, while people have been offering their ideas, which is great, it's good to see a community that, whether or not the ideas seem, a little far out there, or maybe they're just overlooking a few things that would be prevalent to, the situation. It's still good to see people offering ideas. That's the number one thing, is to see people out there like, hey, try this, try that, Of course, some of the Apple stores have hired private security to basically stand in the front of the store and watch the store basically as people are coming in and out. But, a lot of people like to offer, their thoughts. And when they would play these, videos that were posted up on YouTube about the smash and grabs at the store, people were like, how come those, customers don't try to help? I mean, you'll see like 5 people running in, and you'll see about like 15 customers within the vicinity of these guys, grabbing products, and like the Apple store reps trying to run towards them to stop them, and customers are standing aside, not doing anything. And the reason, that, first of all, I would say the reason why that customer should not really get involved is because you don't know if these people are carrying any type of weapon. And to put yourself in danger over a product like that, obviously, it could spell disaster. And obviously, Apple, too, doesn't want a lawsuit on their hands, considering the fact that if they hadn't had security for their store, it would make them responsible for you if you tried to assist and help and got hurt, seriously injured on their property. It would put Apple in a bad way. So, in any case, if you're in an Apple store and you see a smash and grab happen, don't try to be the hero and try to stop these people, because you don't know what they're carrying. I mean, yes, you can see in the videos clearly they're not pulling out guns and trying to hold people up. They're in, grabbing stuff and out. And obviously, that's their MO. But it's not, just because it's in that fashion doesn't mean they're not carrying anything. And that's why people got to be very careful about that. The reason that Apple employees don't chase these people out the store all the way into the parking lot is, again, it goes back to, you don't know if these people have weapons. An Apple store employee could try and chase them all the way to the parking lot to try and confront them and get the products back. But if he makes his way all the way out to the parking lot and they have a weapon in their vehicle, or one guy is standing by the vehicle, the getaway vehicle, with a weapon, would then spell disaster for that employee. At the end of the day, these are electronic products, and it's not worth your life to try and defend. So that is the reason why in a lot of these videos you don't see people really, doing a lot. I mean, one video, it showed people coming into the Apple store trying to, divert them a little bit, make it harder for them to get out. But once these guys slipped past them, no one tried to pursue. They just tried to create an obstacle to slow them down. It's just not worth your life for an iPhone that you don't even own. So, does Apple have something in place that allows them to track these stolen items? Well, I mean, anything that's on the show floor, if they have like a generic Apple ID account logged into it, obviously they can use, Find My iPhone or Find My Apple device to locate these things once they're turned on. And I would like to think that all these devices have serial numbers and that Apple has access to those serial numbers. So if these guys were trying to go up on like, Swappa.com or something to try and sell it, the serial numbers for these devices should be blacklisted in actually being stolen. So really the only thing that these crooks would be able to do is hold on to the device, but they wouldn't be able to actually create an Apple account if there's already a generic Apple ID account signed into these devices, so then that way they can, do what they're supposed to be doing, which is, showcasing on the floor. That's the main thing. So with that being said, let me just offer my advice to people that, tend to go and visit an Apple store. If you see this thing happening in your store, a smash and grab, you guys definitely don't want to get involved with that. That's something that you guys want to leave alone, Get home safely to the wife and kids, or to the husband and kids. Don't put yourself in harm's way over something that, is not yours, technically. And, I know people want to be helpful, and that's great that people want to be helpful. And you know what? Just being there as a witness is being helpful enough, because if you can memorize what kind of hoodie they were wearing, what kind of shoes they were wearing, if you notice a skin complexion because of their hands, you know, those are all important information that, you know, law enforcement would need to find these thieves. So you are being very helpful just by standing there and watching. Don't jeopardize yourself, you know, and your life for something that is not yours. That's all I'm going to say to that. So let me know what you guys think about these smash and grabs at Apple stores. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section of this video. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like, and if you just checked out my video right now and enjoyed it, subscribe as well. And you guys can check out my past library videos for other content that has been put up that may pique your interest. So until then, guys, have a great morning and a great rest of your day. Aloha, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.